every piece of potential evidence becomes an exhibit at a murder trial, especially one in front of a jury. That's what voir dire hearings are meant to decide, the so-called trial within a trial to determine admissibility of certain exhibits or statements. And so it was with Michael White's murder trial. After he was found guilty and just before his parole eligibility was decided at sentencing, we revealed a claim that someone close to the case might have witnessed Liana White's murder. The chapter the jury didn't get to hear on the crime tapes.
Ashley White, the young daughter of Liana White, may have witnessed some of her mother's murder.
That is according to her grandmother in court documents that were not allowed at Michael White's trial. Still, however, the jury found him guilty of murder. And tonight, we have a closer look at those heart-wrenching details involving young Ashley. Here's David Ewasuk.
Maureen Kelly tells reporters that she believes her granddaughter Ashley may have been there when her dad murdered her mother.
Yes.
You believe she witnessed some of
I
what
believe
happened?
she saw pieces of it. I don't think she saw everything that happened, but I think she saw clips.
Statements not allowed to be heard by the jury seem to back up her beliefs. Little Ashley made many comments to Maureen and family friends. Among them, "Did you see the blood on Mommy's neck?" as she motioned from her own neck downward. After seeing a man who was a family friend cutting buns with a knife, the little girl once stated she'd have to go and sleep in the leaves with my mommy. And upon driving past the spot where her mother's body was discovered, 3-year-old Ashley told a family friend, "I've been here. My daddy took me here." She also told Maureen Kelly, "Grandma, did you see blood on the towels in the bathroom?" Maureen Kelly also stated Ashley said to her, lying in bed, and she heard a noise and she got up and it was Mommy on the floor.
The alleged statements of young Ashley were not needed for the Crown to get its murder conviction against her father. After the jury's guilty verdict, Michael White tried to take his own life at the remand center. He was stitched up for 70 slash wounds to his wrists and neck, and he was then put on suicide watch, awaiting his sentencing hearing.
Michael White faced a judge today and was told he must wait 17 years before he gets a chance at parole. David Ewasuk was in the courtroom for the decision and joins us with reaction tonight to the final phase of court proceedings against the man who murdered his pregnant wife, Liana. David?
Carrie, Michael White simply nodded his head when he heard that 17 years must pass before he sees his first parole eligibility.
Mike, anything to say about the decision? No comment? Michael White would not remain in protective custody forever, nor would he remain in Alberta to serve out his sentence. His term of parole ineligibility of 17 years finally ended in 2023. He was released in Ontario, and White has maintained his innocence in the murder of his pregnant wife, Liana White. I'm David Ewasuk, and that concludes this story from the vaults of the crime tapes.